Hi guys, welcome to the logical reasoning question paper discussion. So in this video, we will be discussing the solutions to your logical reasoning question paper number 1. So problem number 1, a sequence is given 9, 17, 33, 65 and there is a missing term. So you're supposed to find the missing term in this sequence. And as we have already discussed earlier, whenever the numbers of a sequence gradually increase, it's an additive sequence, right? If the numbers of the sequence drastically increase, it's a multiplicative sequence. And if it gradually increase, it's an additive sequence. And this seems to be an additive sequence. So let's try to find out the difference between the terms of the sequence. So see here, 9 and 17. So 9 plus 8 gives 17. 17 plus 16 gives 33. 33 plus 32 gives 65. And so what will be the next difference? So clearly these are powers of 2. So 8 is 2 cube, 16 is 2 to the power 4, 32 is 2 to the power 5, and obviously the next term, next difference would be 2 power 6, that is plus 64. So 65 plus 64 gives 129. So the correct option is option C, that is 129. So 129 is the missing term in the given sequence. So question number 2, a sequence is given again 1, 3, 10, 21, 64, 129, 356 and 777. So this time you're not supposed to find the missing term, but here you have to find the wrong number, odd man out. So again, let's try to figure out the pattern used in the sequence. So as we observe the numbers, they are drastically changing, right? So it looks like a multiplicative series. But observe, it's very easy to go from 1 to 3. 1 into 3 gives 3. But observe the second and third term, 3 and 10. We cannot connect 3 and 10 using a direct product because 10 is not divisible by 3. So probably the given sequence is a combination of addition and multiplication. So it's an additive and multiplicative series or multiplicative and subtractive series. So let's check. So I'm going to write this 1 and 3 as 1 into 2 plus 1 because I cannot connect 3 and 10 by direct product. So that's the reason I'm just writing 3 as 1 into 2 plus 1. Now, if I try to figure out the pattern between 3 and 10, so it looks like 3 into 3 plus 1. So if we follow the same pattern, then the next pattern would be 10 into 4 plus 1, but we have 21. So let's try to repeat the pattern, that is into 2 plus 1. Now 21 and 64. Clearly it is into 3 plus 1. So this is the pattern. It's into 2 plus 1, into 3 plus 1, and the pattern repeats itself. So the next, it's into 2 plus 1. Yes, it is. 64 into 2 is 128, and 128 plus 1 is 129. And 129 into 3 plus 1. Now, let's check whether the product of 129 and 3 plus 1 gives 356 or not. You don't have to find the complete product. Just multiply the end terms, the numbers, the digits in the unit place. So 129 into 3 is a number ending with 7, right? Because 3 into 9 is 27. So 129 into 3 is a number ending with 7. Plus 1 gives number ending with 8. But we have 356 over here. So clearly 356 is the number which is not following the pattern. So this 356 is odd man out. So it is option D. So 356 is the wrong number in this series. Question number 3, coding and decoding. Mind becomes KGLB. So mind becomes KGLB. So M is coded as K. So observe what is the difference between M and K. So clearly it is M minus 2, right? You have to go 2 letters behind. And I and G, I minus 2 gives G. N and L, N minus 2 gives L. So D and B, D minus 2 gives B. So you have to take 2 steps behind, 2 letters behind. So similarly, argue is coded as, wait a second. So similarly, argue is coded as YPESC. So A minus 2 gives Y, PR minus 2 gives P, G minus 2 gives E, U minus 2 gives S, and E minus 2 gives C. So here you have to take 2 steps behind. So in the similar way, let us try to code diagram. So D minus 2 gives B, I minus 2 gives G, A minus 2 gives Y, G minus 2 gives E, R minus 2 gives P. That's enough. That's enough. So clearly it is option A. B, G, Y, E, P, Y, K. Got it? So next, question number 4. In a certain language, practice is coded as PICCTRAE. So observe here, the first letter P and the last letter E remain the same. And the middle 2 letters CT remain the same. Only RA and IC, the second and third letters, and the last but 2 letters, they are swapped. So IC and then RA. See here? So practice is coded as PICCTRAE. So if we follow the same pattern here, if we follow the same code here, then I'll try to code the word flames. So according to the previous pattern, we have to retain the first and last letter as they are. So F and S. So we are going to swap LA and ME. So ME comes first and then LA. So don't worry about the middle 2 letters because this is just a 6-letter word. So we don't have the middle 2 letters. So FMELAS, that is option C. Got it? Next. A man said to a lady, the son of your only brother is the brother of my wife. How is the lady related to the man? Mother, sister, maternal aunt, or none of these? So let's try this. See, the most effective way, or I can say the only effective way to solve the problems from blood relation is the diagrammatic approach. So the basic rules, as we have discussed earlier, the basic rules is that denote all the male members within squares and denote all the female members within the circles. Okay, so read this question. Here we have 2 people. One is the man and the other is the lady. So here the question is, how is the lady related to the man? The son of your only brother. Here man is addressing. So I'll just consider the lady first. And I'm not going to encircle this because I already know that it's she. Okay, so lady. Now a man said to a lady, the son of your only brother. He's saying this to the lady, the son of your only brother. So this lady has one and only brother. Let's name him as X. Okay. So the son of your, and this lady has no other siblings, according to the statement given by man. The son of your only brother. So this brother has a son. Let's call him Y. The son of your only brother is the brother of my wife. So this son is brother of this man's wife. So let's call her Z. Okay. So this is the relationship between man and lady. Now read the question properly. How is the lady related to the man? How is the lady related to the man? So I'm going to see from man's point of view. So man's wife, wife's brother, and brother's father. So clearly X is father of Z. So that means X is father-in-law of this man. And X has a sister, that is this lady. So clearly this lady is father-in-law's sister. So this is the relationship. There is no direct relationship between these two. It's not clear. Okay. So the correct option is option D. None of these. We don't have that father-in-law sister relation here. So it's option D. None of these. So let's move on to problem number 6. A is the son of C. C and Q are sisters. A is the son of C. So just write one-way relation. It's enough. So A is the son of C. Okay, we don't know the gender of C yet. Now read the next statement. C and Q are sisters. So that means C is she. So C and Q are sisters. Next, Z is mother of Q. Okay. Okay, so this goes to the next level, that is Z is mother of Q. Next, P is son of Z. P is son of Z. Now observe, C and Q are sisters, Z is mother of Q and P is son of Z. That means C, Q and P are siblings, right? So let's check which of the given statements is true. So option A, P and A are cousins. Definitely not. They belong to two different generations. So option B, P is maternal uncle of A, which is true. A's mother is C and C's brother is P. So mother's brother is obviously paternal uncle. So it is option B. Option B is the required solution. Okay. So next, question number 7. If x plus y means x is the daughter of y, x minus y means x is the brother of y, x percentage y means x is the father of y, and x hash y means x is the sister of y, which of the following means I is the niece of j? So I'll go by options here. So option A, j minus n percentage c hash I. So we have to take two at a time. So first let us consider j minus n. So according to the given problem, j minus n means j is brother of n. So j is he and he is brother of n. So we don't know the gender of n yet. Next, consider n percentage c. N percentage c means n is father of c. So n is father, so that means n is he, and he is father of c. So we don't know the gender of c yet. So now consider the last two, c hash I. So c hash I means c is sister of I. So C is sister. So that means C is she, sister of I. So now we have to check which of the given options means I is the niece of J. I is niece of J. May or may not. I can be niece or I can be nephew. So we don't know because we don't know the gender of I here. So it's not option A. We cannot conclude that it's option A. So now let's check whether it is option B or not. So if it is not option A, then definitely it is not option C also. Because even in option C, we have I in the last. So when we have I in the last, we cannot determine the gender of I. So neither it is option A nor it is option C. So it is either option B or option D. So let's check whether it is option B. If it is not option B, then definitely it is option D. So I am going to check whether it is option B or not. I hash C. What do you mean by I hash C? I is sister of C. So I is sister of C. Okay, good start. Now consider C minus N. C minus N means C is brother of N. Okay, C is brother of N. Now N percentage J. N percentage J means N is father of J. N is father of J. I is niece of J. Definitely not. So in this relation, I belongs to the upper generation. So I is not niece of J here. So it is not option B. So the only option left out is option D. So option D is correct. So you can verify this on your own. Okay. So let's quickly move on to the next question. Question number 8. Pointing towards a girl, Abhishek says this girl is the daughter. So read the question properly. Pointing towards a girl, Abhishek says this girl is the daughter of only child of my father. You don't have to write the diagram here. Don't draw the diagram here. This girl is the only daughter of this girl is the daughter of only child of my father. My father's only child is me. So Abhishek's father's only child is Abhishek himself. And Abhishek's daughter is that girl. So this girl whom he is referring to is Abhishek's daughter. So now read the question properly. What is the relation of Abhishek's wife to that girl? So to this girl, Abhishek's wife is obviously mother. So it is option B, mother. Okay. So you don't require a diagram here. So next. Question number 9. 8 friends A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H are seated in a circular arrangement facing the center. Okay, first I'm going to point out the positions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. It has to be like this. Okay, so next. The first statement A, C, D, G, H, E, and F, B are seated adjacent to each other. A is also seated adjacent to H. Okay, I'm just going to fix up the position of A here. I'm going to write A here. So definitely C is next to A and A is also seated adjacent to H. So I'll write H here. And H and E are adjacent to each other. So I'll just write E here. Okay, so now the third statement is B is second to the right of H. So they're all facing towards the center, right? So right of H. B is second to the right of H. So first to the right of H is E and second to the right of H is B. So if I place B here, then B and F are adjacent to each other. So I'll just write F here. Okay. So next, read out the fourth statement. E is the third to the right of C. E is to the E is the third to the right of C. So right of C, first to the right of C is A, second to the right of C is H, and third to the right of C is E. So this is correct. So whatever we have done till now, it's correct. Now, fifth, G is opposite to E. So G is opposite to E. So I'm going to place G here. So obviously we have D here because DG are adjacent to each other. Now read out the question. Who is seated at second right of D? So the first right of D is C and the second right of D is A. No, this is not true. According to this arrangement, it is not true. We don't have any of the given options here. So that means somewhere we have gone wrong. So probably when I say G is opposite to E, I think G comes here. See, diagonally opposite they are talking about. So that it's diagonally opposite. So I'm just going to make a slight change here. So when I say G is opposite to E, I'll write G here, diagonally opposite. Okay, so then if G comes here, then definitely D comes here. So now read the question again. Who is seated at second right of D? So second right of D, first right of D is G and second right of D is C. So it is option C. Got it? Next, make slight changes if required. Question number, okay, so these are the directions for questions 10 to 12. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G are sitting in a row facing north. Okay, good. Because I cannot turn my laptop here. So they are facing towards north. Okay. So now, and it's a linear arrangement, not circular arrangement like the previous one. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, there are 7 people here. So the first point is F is to the immediate right of E. F is to the immediate right of E. Since they are all facing towards north, my right is going to be E's right. Okay, so F is to the immediate right of E. Okay, next, E is fourth to the right of G. E is fourth to the right of G. Fourth to the right of G means there are 3 people between G and E now. So now E is fourth to the right of G. Point number 3, C is the neighbor of B and D. C is the neighbor of B and D. So I cannot fix CBD here. If I fix CBD here, then how can I fill these 3 positions? So obviously CBD, I have to locate CBD here in these 3 places. So C is neighbor of both B and D. So can I just see in between B and D? So it's BCD or it is DBC. I don't know. It's BCD or DCB, sorry. BCD or DCB. Okay, let's just figure it out. Now, fourth, person who is third to the left of D. Person who is third to the left of D is at one of the ends. So, person who is third to the left of D. So, left of D, third to the left of D. 1, 2, 3. So, it's obviously G. Now, they have given G is at one of the ends. So BCD is correct, not DCB. So it is G, B, C, D, E, F, and then comes A. So this is the required linear arrangement. So now let us answer the questions. Question number 10. What is the position of A? Obviously, it's extreme right. A is on extreme right. Question number 11. Who are the neighbors of B? Neighbors of B are G and C. So that is option B. Next, question number 12. Who is or are to the left of C? Left of C, it's B and G. It's B and G. So B and G, that is option C. Sorry, it's option C. B and G. Next, problem number 13. From his house. Okay, this is from direction sense test. So from his house, Lokesh went 15 kilometers to the north. Okay, first let us fix the position of Lokesh's house. So this is Lokesh's house. So from here, he went 15 kilometers to the north. Go upwards. So 15 kilometers. Then he turned. So north means it is my north. You know the direction convention, right? So Lokesh went 15 kilometers to the north. Then he turned west and covered 10 kilometers. Then he turned west. So this is Lokesh west and he covered 10 kilometers. Lokesh west is same as our west. Okay, so when it comes to right or left, then you should tilt your book. Then he turned south and covered 5 kilometers. So this is south and he covered 5 kilometers. Finally, turning to the east, he covered 10 kilometers. So this is east. So he covered 10 kilometers, which is same as this 10 kilometers. So it forms a rectangle here. Okay. Now the question is, in which direction is he from his house? So this is his current position. So this is his house. From his house, he is in north direction. So it is option C. Okay. So next, go to question number 14. Amit started walking, positioning his back towards the sun. So here, there are two cases. See, Amit started walking, positioning his back towards the sun means now I'm going to divide this problem into two situations. One is morning and one is during the evening. So in the morning, sun is on the east. So this is the sun, position of the sun. Sorry, it doesn't look like a sun. So this is the position of the sun. Now Amit started walking, positioning his back towards sun. That means he's walking towards west. After some time, he turned left. So his left is downwards. If you have any doubt, then please tilt your book towards the position in which Amit is walking. So as he starts walking towards west, turn your book towards west. And then you can decide what is left and what is right. So he turned left. So this is his left. He turned right. So this is his right. And towards the left again. So again it is his left. So this is his left. In which direction is he going now? Obviously it is south. This is south. So now either it is option A or option D. Now let's discuss the other case, that is during the evening. So now Amit started walking, positioning his back towards the sun. Now during the evening, the sun is on the west. Okay. So now Amit started walking, positioning his back towards the sun. That means he's walking towards east. After some time, he turned left. So this is his left. Then he turned right. So this is his right. And again left. So it's left again. So he's walking towards north, right? So either it is south or north. That is option E. So got it? So next. Question number 15. Question number 15. So we have 4 villages here. Village Q is to the north of the village P. So this is village P. Village Q is to the north of village P. Next, second statement, the village R is in the east of village Q. So this is village Q, and in the east of village Q, we have village R. And village S is to the left of village P. Village S is to the left of village P. So when I say left, you have to consider with respect to yourself, because we don't know the position of P here. So we can't figure out left or right with respect to P. So you assume that your left is P's left. Okay. So village S is to the left of village P. In which direction is village S with respect to village R? So village S is towards southwest. So this is towards southwest with respect to village R. So it is option B, southwest. Done. So this was quick. Next, question number 16. So one morning after sunrise, Suresh was standing facing a pole. The shadow of the pole fell exactly to his right. Okay, so this is the pole here, and this is Suresh. He's facing the pole, and the shadow of the pole fell exactly to his right. So this is completely concept based question. So you know what I mean. So before proceeding further, it's not good to locate these people first. I mean Suresh and the pole. So first let us position the sun. So in the morning, sun is towards the east. Okay, so this is the position of the sun. Now I'll locate the pole. Now the shadow of the pole is falling exactly to the right of Suresh. So that means Suresh must be standing behind this pole, facing this pole. So this is absolutely the basic concept of the shadow. Okay, so Suresh is standing behind this pole, facing towards the pole means he is facing towards south, right? So it is option B. Option B. Next, question number 17. So from here we have syllogisms. So read out the statements. All the books are papers. So we have discussed problems based on syllogisms using Venn diagrams, right? So let's use Venn diagrams. All the books are papers. So all the books. So this is the set of books. All the books are papers. So the set of books is contained in the set of papers. So this is the meaning of the statement, all the books are papers. Some papers are journals. So some papers are journals means you have to draw journals as overlapping circle with papers. So some papers are journals. Some journals are calendars. So some journals are calendars. Okay, so this is the Venn diagram associated with this problem. So now I read out the conclusions. Some journals are books. Some journals are books. We don't know, because journals and books are not directly connected. So conclusion 1 doesn't follow. I cannot say anything about conclusion 1. That means it doesn't follow. So next, conclusion 2. Conclusion 2. Some calendars are papers. Some calendars are papers. Again, calendars and papers are not directly connected. So we cannot say anything about conclusion 2. So conclusion 3. Some books are journals. Some books are journals. We don't know, because they are not directly connected. Next, number 4. Some books are calendars. Some books are calendars. Books and calendars are not directly connected. So we cannot say anything about conclusion 4 as well. So all the 4 conclusions, none of the 4 follows. So that is this. That is option D. Option D. So we can only draw the conclusion if they are directly connected. Okay. So next question number 18. Some cars are jeeps. So some cars are jeeps. Draw cars and jeeps as overlapping circles. All the boxes are jeeps. All the boxes. You should not touch the set of cars. Make sure that you're not going to touch the set of cars. So all boxes are jeeps. So this is the set boxes. All boxes are jeeps. All the pens are cars. So all the pens are cars. So boxes are contained in jeeps and pens are contained in cars. Okay. So this is the diagram, Venn diagram. Now let us go through the conclusions here. So conclusion 1, some cars are boxes. Some cars are boxes. We cannot say anything about this because cars and boxes are not directly connected. So it is not, conclusion 1 doesn't follow. Conclusion 2, no pen is jeep. No pen is jeep. Definitely not, because the given statements are positive in nature and we cannot draw negative conclusion out of a positive statement. So without looking into the diagram, you can say that this conclusion doesn't follow because it's a negative conclusion. Next, conclusion number 3, some boxes are cars. Some boxes are cars. We don't know because they are not directly connected. So conclusion 3 doesn't follow. So none of the 3 follows. So it is option A. Done. Now go to question number 19. All the books are pencils. So all the books are pencils. Next, no pencil is eraser. No pencil is eraser means these two are disjoint. Write eraser, set of erasers and set of pencils as disjoint sets. So they are not connected. Okay, so this is the respective Venn diagram. Now go through the conclusions. Conclusion 1, all the pencils are books. All the pencils are books, which is not true. Some pencils are books. Not all the pencils are books. So conclusion 1 doesn't follow. Conclusion 2, some erasers are books. Some erasers are books. No, when eraser and pencil are not connected, then how can you connect erasers and books? So this is not true. Number 3, no book is eraser, which is true. No book is eraser. When no pencil is eraser, then books are contained in the set of pencils. So no book is eraser, which is true. So conclusion 3 follows. Next, conclusion 4, some books are erasers, which is not true because they are not connected. So this is not true. So only the third conclusion follows. That is option C. Okay. Next, go to question number 20. All the locks are keys. All the locks are keys. Okay, so all the keys are bats. So the set of keys, so the set of keys is contained in the set of bats. Some watches are bats. So some watches are bats. So write the set of watches as an overlapping set with bats, but it should not get connected with keys or locks. Only bats and watches are connected. Okay, so let's go through the conclusions now. So conclusion number 1, some bats are locks. Some bats are locks, which is true. When all the locks are keys and when all the keys are bats, then all the locks are bats. So some bats are locks, which is true. Next, conclusion 2, Some watches are keys. Some watches are keys. Watches and bats are connected, but watches and keys are not connected. Yes, I know. Set of keys is contained in the set of bats, but bats and watches are connected. Keys and watches are not connected. So it is not, conclusion 2 doesn't follow. Now, conclusion 3, all the keys are locks. All the keys are locks, which is not true. Some keys are locks. All the locks are keys, and some keys are locks. So, conclusion 3 doesn't follow. So, which one of the following is true? Only conclusion 1 follows. So, only conclusion 1 follows. That is option A. Done? So, thank you all. See you in the next video.